Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. This is the Sunday night show. I am Gav, and with me I have Emmet and I've Keith. I don't have Shawnee because he headed over to Liverpool to pick up those 3 points and bring them back for us. So we'll certainly have a look when they come back, Shawnee, at the 3 points, as the man once said. Liverpool won, Arsenal 0 at Anfield. Liverpool 3 games, 3 wins. They went to the international break, the only team in the league, I believe, with a 100% record, and that's really, really nice. Keith, I'm going to come to you first. Does that feel like a big win? You know, early in the season, third game in, you know, it's really, really early in the season. But does that feel like a big win for Liverpool in the sense of the title race, or does it just feel like Liverpool are finding a rhythm, and this is a really nice way to find a rhythm, even though we're going into the international break and that rhythm will be broken now for about 8 weeks while these internationals are played?
Yeah, it's a huge win. I mean, it doesn't impact on where the league title goes, but it's sort of a slug in the gut to a psychological blow for Arsenal, in the sense that Liverpool are the champions. Liverpool are coming in on the back of good business done in the summer to improve the squad. Okay, the Diogo Jota tragedy can overshadow any new incomings, but you know, Liverpool have strengthened from last year, and whilst not playing well in the opening few games, are getting the 3 points, which is all that matters. And I think if Liverpool had have dropped points today, be it a draw, and they'd about been going in on 7, I think it was a bigger psychological plus for Arsenal if that had happened. But they didn't. Liverpool went in 9 points on the board without playing great up till today, and we're a team that's trying to adapt and trying to learn on the job. And when you see the way the team is developing, and we're starting to see shoots of what we expect the team to look like going forward, we're improved performances by players today. I think it's very, very big that Liverpool went and in the opening 3 games have gone to Newcastle, which is always a tough place to go. Newcastle will be a top 6, 7 side. And to go there and win with the whole Isak shite surrounding it was huge. And then to have Arsenal come to Anfield and to beat them, because I think we've drawn the last 3 at home against them. So, you know, to go and win is an absolutely huge marker to put down this early in the season. Again, it's not going to dictate that the league is over, Arsenal can't come back. But what it does is it just lays a little, gives them a little bloody nose early on, and that's no bad thing. Liverpool, we're going to discuss the tactics of the game today from both sides. But, you know, Liverpool look like a team today that can win whilst not having to be at their best, whereas Arsenal look like a team that are afraid maybe to play football, which is something we've said about them over the years. And again, we'll come on to that throughout the show. But yeah, it was a big win for Liverpool today. Psychological blow. I'm a big fan of that momentum carrying into an international break, which, by the way, I fucking hate international breaks this early in the season, because you don't want to be losing players to injuries when they're not on your watch. But look, we'll see what happens from that. We've got an interesting 20 hours or so left in the transfer window, which we expect to see some movement as well. So, you know, by the time Liverpool come back to play their next game, we could be in even better shape. And to be 9 points on the board at this stage and possibly adding quality into the team, it's exciting. And let's just see how it develops. But yeah, really good, really good.
Yeah, we're going to talk about transfer later on. The big news, of course, today is that Liverpool have won, but probably even bigger news, judging by the chat here, is Emmet's look. A lot of people in the chat are going, "Where's the hair? What's going on?" Emmet looks like Bertie now. Anyone that doesn't know Bertie won't know, but if you do know him, he looks like Bertie.
And if you don't know him, Bertie looks like Emmet.
Poor Jonathan Hogan is fucked. He can't tell us apart as it is.
Well, yeah, John can't tell the two boys apart anyway when Emma had hair. So this is going to be an issue now.
I'm lying on my couch having a coffee and I get a phone call or a text message from John that goes, "I've your train ticket here." I was like, what?
Yeah. So anyone that doesn't know that, we went to Liverpool not May gone, the May before, and a load of the boys headed off on the Saturday, and myself and Emma and a few more were heading on the Sunday. John gets on a flight, goes from Dublin to Liverpool or Manchester. Yeah, with Bertie goes on the flight with him, gets to Manchester and was like, right, we're gonna get a train down to Liverpool, and starts texting Emmet to tell him, I have that train ticket sorted for you, bud. And he's like, I'm not that person. So he spent that whole morning thinking he was with somebody else. So that's where we are. And now he looks even more like him, which is cracking. But Emma, Key talks there about bloodying their nose and stuff like that, but I'm gonna go a step further. I'm fucking delighted to beat these because they're a shower of fucking pricks. And anyone that knows this channel, anyone that knows me knows I used to have a huge amount of respect for Arsenal Football Club. It's completely and utterly gone now, right? Like, they done a full fucking 2-minute video yesterday, make a statement. You know, make a statement and all these fucking things going on. A big massive video on the build up to it. You have the manager who I fucking despise. You know, the players, I find very few of them, if any, likeable. And the way they play football, I think they have a squad that could win a league, but the way they play football is awful. And to beat them, I think, you know, it is early in the season. Will I have a big say on where the league title goes? No, but I'll take this every day of the week because they're fucking, they're just, I don't even know have the words for them anymore, Emma. I really don't.
No, I'm the same. Like, Arsenal as a club, you respect kind of down through the years, are one of the teams that you would respect. Like Chelsea, Man City now, Man United, Arsenal were always kind of the three. But their fan base, this manager, and some of these players have absolutely ruined that for them. And it'd probably be hard to get it back. Like, where do you start? Like, the manager, he 100% knew that Saliba was injured. I think somebody said in the interview afterwards that we lost him in the warm-up. Yeah. What about player welfare? You still start him? What the, like, all because of, I would imagine psychologically, no, I'm going to still start him. I know we'll probably lose him after 3 or 4 minutes, but it's just to not show weakness or whatever. Like, Jesus Christ. Someone needs to 2-foot him when he's outside of his technical area as well. Pretend that you're trying to stop a ball from going out of play and just fucking lift them out of it. To me, I said straight after the game, a friend of mine is an Arsenal player, Arsenal don't have the minerals. I think it was Henry said it last year, but you're hearing it more and more now. They play games not to lose rather than play games to win. And that's what they like. Their first kickoff, right? And then I heard an Arsenal fan. Their first kickoff is straight out at the corner flag for a throw to Liverpool, right? And people are giving out about it. And he says, but when PSG, you're comparing yourself to PSG, like, you don't just do it because PSG do it. Like, there needs to be a second plan behind it. Like,
yeah, sorry to interrupt.
What are you doing?
You've reminded me of something, right? And Dan Austin has as well. He said, Gav, their social media supporters are pretty mad. I hope that's just a lunatic fringe. There's definitely a lunatic fringe there. But I think this football club has been moulded by that fringe more than any other football club I've ever seen. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And you know, I've no problem. Liverpool do the same kickoff. They kick it up into the corner, and you know, if you win a header, you win a header. But we make sure it's over in the corner. Loads of people do it. PSG do this thing where they make sure it goes out. They kick for touch, and then they push up and they think. But to me, and look, I don't know how Arsenal are going to do this season. But first impressions watching them, you know, in the flesh, as you know, as I suppose as much as I can, playing Liverpool, is they look a team that have went, look at all this great stuff we've done. Now we're just going to put it on the pitch and we're going to be as basic as we possibly can because we've all the best bits. Surely this works. And that's what it feels like, Emma.
Yeah, it's I mean, he's playing 4 centre-halves in the back 4. Like, it's, and he's had to sign another one, is he?
Yeah.
Like, I just...
And like Kappe, you can argue as a left back.
To me, it's ugly
centre back who could play left back.
It's ugly football, and it's going back to the one. There was a period of time where Arsenal played absolutely beautiful football to the point where they actually played too nice of football. They tried to pass it into the goal. If you remember, Fabregas, all those were
Rosicky, and
But now it's gone back. It's gone back more so to the 1-0 to the Arsenal. Like, do you know what I mean? Defensively, of course, they're going to be solid. They're playing 2 defensive midfielders, 4 centre-halves at the back. But it just seems to be lump ball, wing corners, long throws. That's like, I think if Liverpool were playing that way, we would be sitting here giving out about Liverpool playing that way. It's just it's a horrible way to play football by horrible players and a horrible manager. I absolutely despise it.
No, I can't stand him.
He's gone on the list. Like, it's... I thought Manchester United were the team that I hated the most. I actually feel a little bit sorry for them now.
Well, I wouldn't go
And
that
now
far.
Yeah.
I hate Arsenal the most now. But like I said, and it's all down to the manager, the players, and their. I wouldn't even say fringe. It's very hard to find a
Sensible.
rational Arsenal fan. Like, do you know what I mean? So, but look, I thought we did well to soak up all of the pressure. We knew it was going to come. And like I said, these lump of balls. Like, if you're Arsenal or if you're Arteta, like, and you've any good kind of coaching kind of nous about you, you'll see that we actually struggled a little bit when teams ran at us in the last two games. Okay, the Newcastle thing was more set pieces and stuff like that. But when Bournemouth turned the ball over and ran at us, we kind of struggled a little bit. So you go and you try and you play on that, but they just didn't. I was a little bit worried going into today's game, and then when you see what way they're kind of playing, it's just like it's not attractive football. Any chances that they make are from throw-ins or corners. That's it. They make very little from open play. Very little. If they, I don't know what I think they had one chance.
I'm gonna read some out to you in a minute, and I'll tell you exactly what they create. But Keith, just on Arsenal before we go into Liverpool, are a fan base kind of in the back of their minds thinking, we just have to go with this. We have to support this shite, because it's successful. I don't know, but it's successful to a certain level, and it might just tip us over the edge if we keep doing this. Because, they've come second 3 years in a row, whatever it is. They were quite close in one of those seasons. I don't think they were anywhere near us last season. And I think if Liverpool decided to play their last 4 games like they could, I think they would have won the league by 15 points. And we won it at a canter. Is part of it where Arsenal are kind of stuck in a weird place, or fans are stuck in a weird place where, if they were, say Arsenal were 6th, right? Say in 10 games, 15 games, Arsenal were 6th and they were 12, 15 points off the league. Do you think you'd see Arsenal fans going, no, sure, the fucking style of football is fucking terrible, no wonder we're 6th? Is it because they managed to get results playing this style that, the Arsenal fans will overlook that style? Because I couldn't watch that every week. It's like watching Gerrard Hill.
They have a chant about it. Set piece again, ole, ole. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, the thing with Arsenal, you're starting to see a bit of a turn on some of the online fans. Are starting to talk about getting rid of the manager. The likes of League Owner has hated him for a long time, but you're starting to see some of the other celebrity Arsenal fans starting to turn a bit on him. It's desperate football. I mean, I watched them before the game talking about Mikel Merino coming into the team and trying to make out it was for his third man runs into the box. They lined them up against the wall. Who's the tallest fuckers in this team that's going to go in there for set pieces? And it was him. They had 1 year, he was meant to be the next hot thing. The Dowman, he was fucking only about 14, but they're raving about him as the next big thing. The Eze on the bench, right, only new to the club. The Odegaard on the bench, only coming back from injury. But he settles on Merino. I mean, that's essentially 3 defensive midfielders, because all he really offers is headers and set plays. He's not an attacking player in any sense of the fucking word, Mikel Merino, and they just play off set pieces. Now, there's nothing wrong with that when you're winning, and I've seen it mentioned in the chat a lot of Stoke and Rory the Lap sort of talk. Very, very successful at a level and to a point. But I wouldn't be able to, as you said there, Gav, I wouldn't be able to sit and watch that show every week and be trying to tell everybody that they've reinvented the wheel. It's absolute turgid. I think they've got 7 centre backs on their books that they've paid huge money for, and I'm including Hincapié in that, even though it's a loan. I think that it's an obligation maybe to buy at the end of it. He's a coward of a manager is what I would describe him as. The fans are starting to say that they're not being brave when they go to these places. He has a mental block in his head about Anfield. We've seen that over the years on some of them being Arsenal or whatever the fuck they were called, and he's playing You'll Never Walk Alone on loudspeakers at the training ground. They've coined their own anthem, North London Forever, which is a disgraceful piece of work in itself. to copy off You'll Never Walk Alone. They've adopted a bleeding stray dog called him Win, based on the word of Mikel Arteta. He started flashing a light bulb at them in
He cooked
the
the
dressing
chicken
room.
fillet.
He cooked the chicken fillet. He got pickpockets in. This fella is
that was amazing.
This fella is the biggest spoofer in football. Like this, you're getting told how he's the best and how great, and he'll tell you himself. Nobody's won more points than us over the last 3 seasons, and yet they've not won on. Like, what are you trying to do here,
It's
mate?
gaslighting the fan base as well.
He's the ultimate gaslighter that you would ever see.
But you see this point about he's won more points than over the last 3 seasons. He has to understand that when teams win leagues with 4 and 5 games to go, they don't give a bollocks. So you can still win all your games, and that ups our points for over 3 years. It's not measured over 3 years. It's simply not measured over 3 years, and you have to factor in the fact that he's comparing himself to Liverpool and he's comparing himself to City. City fell asunder last season, right, and still finished about 6 points off Arsenal, right? They fell asunder, and Liverpool won the league with 4 or 5 games, 4 games to go, I think, right, and literally picked up 2 points in the last 4 games. Do you know what I mean? And that's what he's setting himself up against. Do you know what I'm saying? They're just
It's wild.
They annoy me more and more every day. And I think I'm allowed to, and you know what? I think I'm allowing myself to get annoyed, because if we were getting beaten by them, I'd feel like, you're just getting annoyed because you're getting beaten by them. But when you're beating them, I'm kind of going, no, I'm okay to be annoyed with this, because it's not just a factor of a result where I'm fucking pissed off and I want to throw it at it. But can I just read something to you? Right?
Go ahead.
Right.
Light
So
read.
this is Arsenal's shots on goal today, right? Okay. Now, don't
They
get
were
me
the
wrong.
better team, I've read. They were the better team. They controlled this game.
This is what you have, right? Madueke, right, in the 22nd minute has a shot from a corner, which is saved, right? In the 29th minute, Declan Rice tries a free kick from about 40 yards out, puts it over the bar from a free kick, right? In the 36th minute, Madueke, from regular play, has a shot blocked, right? Urian Timber, right, from regular play, has another shot blocked. So they're just getting blocked out here, right? Calafiori, regular play, blocked. Calafiori, from a corner, blocked, right? Calafiori, regular play, blocked, right? Gabriel, regular play, blocked. 64th minute, Madueke, from a corner, missed, okay? Keep going. And Max Dowman, in the 95th minute, from regular play, blocked. So, the thing with this is, loads of blocked stuff, loads of corner stuff, a bit of regular play stuff. But even in the regular play, they just seem to be taking shots from anywhere, hoping something happens. There's not that extra pass. There's not that little bit of creativity where you free up yourself. And look, that's good defending from Liverpool as well. But when I watched that game, I just said to myself, they aren't trying to open anyone up here. Like, Madueke, I think Madueke's a good player. Right, Martinelli, I think I think he's only playing because of injuries. To be fair, right? Gyökeres, they've literally decided Gyökeres is big and he's wide, and what we're going to do is we're just going to win stuff and try launcher in the box room. He's not that player. They've gone off the look of somebody and went, he looks like he could do this, and he's not that player. Like, he scored a header in pre-season. People are like, oh, he does score headers. No, he doesn't. He simply doesn't. What Gyökeres is the type of striker a bit like Haaland. He feeds off those people being intricate and putting on a plate, and he puts it a fucking way. He takes chances, but you're not making chances unless you put it in the box. All they want to do is put it in the box. When I read that afterwards, I was like, I can't think of a time where he went bang bang bang. Jesus, he's right on goal. That's brilliant play. It's all in front of you and trying to shoot or get a corner. I seen somebody at half time tweeting, Jesus, that was a really nice 45 minutes just watching Declan Rice trot towards the corner flag. That's what it is. It's I don't know, and maybe
It wasn't until Eze came on that he tried to do a burst into the byline,
but he demands that.
Pull it back. But that's what I'm saying. That's the way you need to play for Gyökeres. It's pullbacks. It's, do you know what I mean? Balls across the box. But they aren't creating it. Eze may create that for him now. He sold Szoboszlai, I think, wasn't it? He kind of flipped it over him and made his way to the byline to try and get it across. That's the way you need to play. I think Madueke had a really good game for us against us last year for Chelsea.
was
I think
really interesting to watch.
was excellent today. I think.
Yeah. Look, Emma, I'll stick with you because let's go on to Liverpool. You know, they go into this game. They leave Szoboszlai at right back. McAllister comes back in, and I don't know why he did. I think he laboured for the 60 odd minutes he was on the pitch. But you have to get him games. You really do. And maybe I don't know if he has an international break this time around. McAllister. I hope he doesn't. I hope he gets to relax and build up his fitness. Ranald Red says Dave O.C. Kop is reporting the Isak deal almost done. Well, then probably the Isak deal is probably not almost done. So let's go there. But like he does that. He has Gravenberch, he has Wirtz. He goes with the three boys up top, and it's still for me a process where there's flashes from Liverpool. They're definitely still trying to find their patterns. They're still trying to get it to Wirtz too quickly for me. But they'll grow out of that. And I think the most positive sign is they stood up against this Arsenal side that wanted to be physical and wanted corners and wanted free kicks. And Liverpool were a bit ropey from that. Talkin Kop was excellent. And it just feels like a nice progression, Emma. It's not fluid so far. It's not fucking hell-raising. Someone made the point earlier. Bournemouth, Newcastle, Arsenal, three really intense midfields that want to come out and engage it. Wirtz is going to find his way, but I think that the signs are there that if we can stay solid and then progress from there, we're going to be really, really difficult to beat, because I don't think Liverpool were anywhere near their best today, but they still went and won the game, and that's, I hate to say it, is a sign of champions.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier on. It's we couldn't get a foothold in the game in the first half, but we soaked it up. I thought we defended really well. I think like Bradley and Frimpong, we have a job getting back in at right back.
He was fantastic, wasn't he?
Oh, not only this game, but in the previous game as well, against Newcastle, I thought he was really good. So I think I literally, when the game was over, I had to jump and go and have dinner. So did Szoboszlai get man of the match? Tell me he got man of the match.
Yeah, Szoboszlai got man of the match. Yeah.
2 in a row. Yeah.
No, Neville says that on commentary. He was my man of the match before he done that.
All right, okay.
So, yeah.
But I do think we're missing him in midfield, and it's no surprise that it's later in the kind of games that we're kind of getting more into the game. But our passing was a little bit wayward. But again, that's getting to know each other. I think, and Neville, I hate to agree with him, I think he made a very valid point on commentary that Wirtz should be the one that's ahead, not Wirtz behind and McAllister ahead. But again, that's all about kind of working things out and finding spaces. I thought Salah touch was a bit bad today. But again, from about 55, 60, I think we decided to take over. And I thought we were excellent from there on out. I think it's going to be really good to see Szoboszlai's legs back in that midfield. I think we're probably missing his engine in there. And even breaking up play, his press as well. Very hard to press from right back. He tried it once or twice actually, but him in midfield I think is going to be massive for us.
Yeah.
When he gets back in there.
I get the whole legs and his running power, etc. I wasn't happy with him in midfield against Bournemouth. I thought he went in and he sat deep with McAllister, and I thought he was way too lackadaisical in what he was doing.
Yeah, but that's no Gravenberch.
Maybe so. And he was probably in there with a McAllister that was definitely not fully fit, and he probably felt he had to slow the game down and kind of keep it at a tempo where it was comfortable for McAllister. But what I would say is that if I see Szoboszlai back in that midfield beside Gravenberch, I want to see more. I want to see more movement. I want to see more gusto from him. Because when we were slowing it down in that Bournemouth game and then trying to tread stuff through to Wirtz, which was fucking frying my head, it just didn't work, And a few in the chat there, Kev is saying he thought we were terrible going forward, and somebody else says there, it's gone there. Our forward line is a huge concern at the moment for Mark Kavanagh. I think you're going to get that. You're going to get, especially if you have like McAllister for me, who's not fit in midfield, right? You have You have Wirtz who's coming in, he's trying to knit it all together. And it is going to look a bit disjointed. Ekitike's been brilliant. Probably his quietest game today, to be fair. But he's been brilliant. But he's still coming into a team and knowing where they're going. He's still learning what Salah does. He's still learning what Gakpo does. And he's definitely learning what fucking Wirtz does. Because he's the first point of contact to him. That, you have to allow for that to come. You have to allow for that to come. But Keith, again, even when I'm saying this, I'm thinking to myself, like, you reel off those names and it's 3 wins from 3 and we're going, Jesus, Wirtz, what's going on there? You know, Szoboszlai's been excellent, but if he goes back into midfield, Gakpo, I think Gakpo's been absolutely fine, but Ekitike's more to come. Salah definitely is. There's so much more to come in this team, Keith. And teams around us have to be looking, going, Newcastle away, Arsenal at home, and even Bournemouth, who aren't no pushovers, and they're 9 from 9.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't clicked into gear yet. What we saw today was we saw the defence clicking into gear. I thought Virgil was excellent against Newcastle. Konate had a bit of a stinker. Kerkez wasn't at his best. I think today we saw Kerkez's best performance by a mile. And just to highlight, I thought Madueke was excellent for them.
Yeah, I think he's really, really good.
Yeah, but he's fast. And someone was questioning about, he skinned Kerkez. Madueke is really fucking fast. You know what I mean? Like, Kerkez is quick, but we saw, I think we're seeing a conservative Kerkez, but he's getting more and more into it now. I think he was excellent today. Konate, best performance this season by a mile from him. Virgil, I thought, was excellent as well, and then Szoboszlai at right back, like, ridiculous performance and very disciplined by Szoboszlai, because he's not a right back. He doesn't play right back, but he knew he was holding the line. He was doing the covering. He wasn't going out of position. And look, without harking back to Trent, he was busting a gut to get back when he had to get back. He wasn't sauntering. He wasn't labouring. And we know Szoboszlai is all about the engine and the legs and the lung power and the running and all this sort of stuff. But I thought he was excellent. But you're right, when you see Liverpool only starting to click and they've got 9 points, the rest of the league will be looking at this going, oh, shy, because Mohamed Salah was absolutely ridiculously bad today. And it's hard when you play Arsenal because they play with 4 centre-backs. Mikel Arteta was trying to claim they played with 2 attacking full-backs today.
Give me a fucking break.
Calafiore and Yuri and Tim.
They're fucking centre-backs.
Centre-backs who can play as full-backs. And the same as Hincapié, and the same as Ben White. All his full-backs have played centre-backs. But it's difficult when you're playing against them. And as we said as well, 3 more or less sitting in front of them as well. You don't get the space and you don't get the time. But the thing that frustrated me with Mo today was he was taking too long on every decision. There was nothing quick happening with him. It wasn't so many times he got a ball, and whereas he could have got out of his feet to shoot, he was just taking that extra second and was getting closed down. He was.
But I think a few of them are doing that.
Yeah, well,
in that area of the pitch, and even against Bournemouth, they were doing that. Where it's like, if you go back to Salah, going back 3 or 4 years ago when he has Mane and Firmino, he doesn't even think. He just gets in that position, goes, he's going to be there, pop it off to him, he's going to make that run, I'm going to come inside and shoot. It's all like second nature to them. Right now, it's not. And somebody in the chat there, and I apologise, it's gone off my screen, makes the point. He starts with he's had Trent at right back for so long, and then Bradley at times, right? He's had Kwanzaa playing at right back, and you can see how that affects his game. You go into this season, he has Frimpong, which will make loads of runs for him, and he was making loads of runs for him against Bournemouth, but we kept insisting on trying to play through the middle of the park instead of getting it to Salah. And then he's Szoboszlai, who's been brilliant, but Szoboszlai isn't going to do that natural right back thing where he drags players and lets Salah do his business, And again, inside him is Wirtz. Inside him is Ekitike. They're all learning, But Mo is going to be focused in on Mo much more because how good Mo Salah is. But a couple more weeks, I think, of these players playing with each other, and you're kind of going, do you know what? A couple of weeks ago, he kind of hesitated against Arsenal. He doesn't hesitate there. It's bang bang, and Liverpool are scoring goals. That's where I am. I'm trying to be as open as I can about it.
I think we saw improvement from Wirtz as well as the game went on today. I think it was probably his best performance. I thought he struggled in the first half, but I think he comes a bit more into it. Liverpool much more of an attacking threat in the second half, and I think he's just, I wouldn't say trying too hard, but as you said, he's coming too deep. he's not in the right positions. He's playing a new position because he was always a left-sided 10 for Leverkusen behind the striker. He's sort of playing more central now. He's coming far too deep to pick up the ball. That'll come. When we get the lads back into the midfield, we have our midfield back. I think Gravenberch is huge. He got a booking today, which I thought was fairly harsh. People would say, I clipped him. I think your man Calafiori just runs across him and he goes down. And then the ref proceeded to give no more yellow cards until about the 80th minute.
Yeah.
For Arsenal
Knock that
players
yellow
doing
stuff in the head.
more or less the same, or worse. It was very frustrating. But I think we will see this team improving. I think we'll see Wirtz coming to terms with the physicality because the touch is there. And it just looks like the pace. He's not judging the passes, which is his big strength, his through balls and passing, and he's just a little bit off with them. He's not judging them 100% yet. And I think that's because he's probably rushing. He's trying to adapt to the faster pace, the physicality and all those sort of things. So I think that'll come. And I think we saw Kirk as his best performance today. And, people will be looking at it. Ekitike probably, I thought he was okay. To be honest, I thought he battled well, but he just didn't get a chance to score. But again, I think he's getting used to, coming in later in the summer and not having the full pre-season with the lads. And he's coming into his own as well. And then we may have more additions to that. So it's when Liverpool start getting up the gear and clicking a bit more and playing that better football, it's going to be tough for other teams, because, as you say, 9 from 9, when we're only getting used to each other and trying to find our feet and trying to nearly shoehorn players into the team, and we're still getting there. So I think it's sending out a marker to the rest of the league, and it'll be interesting to see when the break comes back, what nick we're in, as in no injuries and a couple of new additions in. We could be in great nick for the next few matches, and that's where you can win the league. Not in the next few matches, but get out to a flyer in the first 10, 12 games of the season, and if you build up a lead of a couple of wins ahead of your nearest rivals, you can motor on. We saw it in the last time we won the league, that we start beating teams for fun, and by the time we lost the game, we were, I think, 26 games or something before we lost, or something ridiculous like that. So you can put daylight between you and the chasing pack, and that's what Liverpool have given themselves an opportunity to say, right, we've put a marker down, we've beaten our title rivals. People went on about Man City after their first game of the season when they bet Wolves 4-0 or whatever, and they've lost 2 since then. Liverpool are putting daylight between themselves and the rivals, and they just have to keep doing that and keep having to get the wins on the board, and doing it when we're not 100%, but again, you see all the players, they're getting better, they're going to get more used to each other, and having Szoboszlai back in the midfield will give us more options in there. I thought Curtis Jones, for example, was excellent today when he came on. I thought he was brilliant. I thought McAllister was atrocious, probably my favourite player. Absolutely woeful. I wouldn't have him in the team until he's fit. It'll be interesting to see how they all come back again. And as I don't know if he was away with Argentina or whatever, but when he gets back up to speed and Gravenberch's up to speed and Szoboszlai is back in the midfield or whatever, Liverpool will be a frightening prospect, and teams won't like it. And that's what you have to do. It's nearly that strangling teams, put your foot on the throat when you have to, and then teams will just give up against you. And it's looking like there could be a bit more of that.
Emma, I want to give Curtis Jones a mention, because quite a few in the chat have mentioned him, and he's a player that a lot of people love and a lot of people don't like, or I think hate's a strong word, but there's very little of a grey area with Curtis Jones. You either like him or you don't like him. I'm going to be honest, sometimes I do like him and sometimes I go, what's
I was going to say, I flip-flop.
I can be a bit either way. Overall, I think he's a really, really good player, and there's times when he comes on the pitch and he wanders into certain areas and you're like, what are you just sitting there for? Do you know what I mean? But today I thought he came on. I thought he helped Liverpool massively in the sense of getting the ball, progressing with the ball, holding on to the ball. I thought he was really good when he came on. And we're having a conversation about midfield there, and it's my fault probably that we didn't mention Curtis Jones, because he's come on there again, and I thought he was really good. I thought he was quite good against Newcastle as well. But he's come on there today, and in a game that's in the balance, I think he done really well. In some games you see him come on, Liverpool are leading, and he can kind of get a bit too lax on it, a bit too casual.
Yeah.
But today I thought he was really, really good in what he was trying to do.
Yeah, I think the game probably changes when he comes on. Um, I flip flop on Curtis. I think he's a really good footballer as well. But he treads a fine line between confident and cocky, and when he crosses over that line into cocky, where it's kind of I'm better than you. You kind of see it when you play the lower down teams when he tries to hold on to it for too long, and he ends up losing the ball. But today, I think he was everywhere. He's buzzing around. I think maybe Wirtz was doing a lot of the running today that maybe McAllister wasn't because he's not fit. And then what happens then is as Jones comes on, he's then doing the, I won't say donkey work, but he's doing all of the running. And that's where I think Wirtz maybe came into his own a little bit, that he wasn't having to do all the running and chasing. But Jones is just showing for the ball and doing the simple thing. And when he does the simple thing, there probably isn't somebody that does it any better than he does it. But I think it changed. That substitution changed it. He was getting the ball. He was moving it quick. It was out to Gakpo. It was back into him. It was back to Virgil, across to Kanate. We started threading passes together. In the first half, we couldn't string 3 or 4 passes together without losing the ball. But I think there's definitely, and I don't go in for this, he wouldn't be in the squad if he wasn't Scouse. There's definitely a space in the squad for a Curtis Jones. Is there a space in the squad for him to start every game? Probably not start every game, but he will have an impact and he will perform if he starts games. But that's where the beauty is when we get Szoboszlai in there, we can then start rotating these lads. You get 5 substitutions in a game. Like I can see a world where we probably make 3 or 4 of those from midfield up rather than the defence. So there's going to be plenty of game time there this season for Curtis Jones, and playing like today, you'd have him in your starting lineup or one of the 4 subs off the bench. I thought he was excellent. He definitely did change the game. The other games, he was a little bit inconspicuous, but went about the other games. He was more kind of genie. He was doing a lot of really good work, but you didn't notice it. Today it stood out, and he'll get the plaudits today because you could see what he was doing. Other times he was, what was the game? I think he had something like, was it 70 passes and had 100% pass completion, but nobody noticed that. It was like, oh my God, did you see that stat? Whereas today you could see his impact on the game. Versus other games. I thought he was excellent today when he came on. Yeah, I thought there was a lot of the team were excellent today.
Yeah, I think quietly there's a lot of them that are really, really good, and Tiernan says there. Sorry, Tiernan says Joe Gomez also excellent when he came on. I've never wanted a player to stay fit in my life. And a lot of people there are talking about Jones, and I think Jones is the key to, like somebody says there, you don't want to flog Szoboszlai throughout the season because he's a utility player. You don't want him to be a utility player, but he can be, and you don't want to flog him. Jones is the key to that. Jones is the one where you go, right, throw Jones in to start this one. We've 5 games in fucking 20 days. Jones is going to start 2 of them. Do you know what I mean? And you need that player. And I think when he's given a direct job to do, I think he's really good at it. You put him at right back, he looks quite comfortable. He's had some really good games there. Against Bournemouth at the start of the season, he comes on and he literally stands in this pocket for 10 minutes, and I'm sitting about 20 yards from him going, what are you doing? Like, every time you get it, it's slow, and you're going back here, and you're enticing these people onto us, and we don't have any outball. What are you doing? Whereas against Newcastle, I think he done lots of running. He intercepts, he gets the ball, he moves it on, and today again he gets it, and he's progressing Liverpool. But I'd say when he's given that job of, will you please go on there and get hold of that ball and get it to A, B, and C. I want it into A, B, and C as quick as you can, and then he just seems to shine from there. But I've no argument with him being in the Liverpool squad. Whether you like him to start or you don't, I think you'd miss Curtis Jones if he wasn't in this squad for varying reasons at different times of the season.
But he's one of those players where you don't care if you see his name on the starting lineup.
Yeah,
we've spoken about that for a long, long time. If that comes out today and you've got Wirtz, Gravenberch and Jones in midfield, you probably don't bat an eyelid. People will say McAllister mustn't be fit, but it's not, oh Jesus Christ, Jones starting in midfield. And that's where we need to be, kind of nearly all over the pitch. Probably not with maybe Salah and Van Dijk is probably the only 2 where we're going, and Allison maybe, is where we're going to be kind of like, oh, everywhere else is the deputies will do as good a job as the starting, or what you would perceive as being the starting lineup.
Keith, let's talk this goal. Because
we not talk about it yet?
No, he hits it really fast and really hard, and there's swerve and there's all sorts on it. It's an unbelievable free kick. Now I know your man Ray is going on about the ball and Pume, and we need time to adapt to it. He was all right with last week and the week before, but today now they must have pumped it up to there must have been a different bar that they
different
pumped it to. Different PSI put into it. Maybe Liverpool got all their inhalers and just pumped them into the ball, and that's what's made it fly a little bit better. But it's a phenomenal hit. It's a phenomenal hit, and it's I don't want to go down the road of it's the best free kick I've ever seen, but it's a really fucking good free kick because the way he hits it and the way he gets it up and down. Now I know he's plenty of room to that, but it's the swerve, but it doesn't feel like the swerve on it. It's like I've just put this on it, and it's in fairness to Ray, whether it's a fucking Mitre Delta or that Pume yoke they're using, it's in off the post and it's travelling when it goes in. It's a brilliant goal.
I think you're playing it down by saying you don't want to say it's the best free kick you've ever seen. Because it's an exceptional free kick.
It is an exceptional free kick.
We've seen great free kicks over
the years. Yeah, but I'm
like,
thinking of your man Janino at Leon. He was deadly.
Yeah, but this was as good as anything you'll see.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not. Maybe right, Keith. Let me start again. Let me start again, Keith. What about that free kick, Keith? It's probably the best free kick I've ever seen.
I wouldn't go that far, Gavin.
What about your man at Leon?
Now, look, it was excellent, and it's something that for years I've been going back to Trent, but for years I've been so frustrated with our free kicks that we've had. We've never really taken advantage, and Sobo's always sort of been there sniffing around them, hanging on the outskirts, waiting to have a crack.
Yeah.
And now
is it my go? Yeah, one of those.
That's it. And then you see, lining her up. He has the ball in his hand. He's putting it down. You've Salah there acting to go, and you've Gakpo and all. Virgil, look at this. Get out of there. He's having a strike on this. But when you see all the angles of it, when you see the ref cam, when you see all the just online, you can see different, footage of it, even fans footage from the inside the Kop or in the stadium. It's an unbelievable free kick. I was reading something about why bother putting a wall up. I think Michael Owen actually said that, and someone posted it online. He said, why bother putting a wall up there? Because you're just blocking the keeper. He can't see. And by the time the ball's coming over, he's having to react. And when Szoboszlai's hitting it so fast, you just don't have time to react. So he was more or less saying, just let them have a blade and let them have a free hit out, but at least your keeper can see it. It was an exceptional goal. One of the best Liverpool free kicks you'll ever see, realistically. There's been a few over the years that have been great, but it's up there with anything we've ever seen. And a great way to win a match, and a big moment to win a big match. And to see that execution from a player who, the stat against Newcastle, the only player who didn't touch the ball in the Engamoa goal was Szoboszlai, as he steps over it and absolutely creates the goal. He's a player who's flying at the moment, and that'll do his confidence the world of good. But it just looked a threat. When he was lining her up, I was watching it here at home and with the family, and my daughter, Chloe, loves the football, and she was saying, will he shoot? And my son's like, he'll shoot. He scored a knuckleball for Hungary once. And I'm like, yeah, let's go for the knuckleball on this. Didn't expect it now, but it was an absolute cracker of a goal. And it was great to see. David Ray, I feel sorry for him with the new ball and all that. It's harsh, but you just have to do an extra hour a day in training, and get Declan Rice, who scored a couple of great free kicks last season, to be hitting the mark, and you might get a bit of practice on that. But it was excellent. It was precise, it was powerful, and a statement goal. I love a late winner. Liverpool love a late winner this season, and to see it going in like that was just extra. And you look at the reaction online, and you see all the rival fans, and everybody's just like, what a goal, what a free kick, and a great way to win the game.
If you can think of any better free kicks for Liverpool, put them in there. Someone did mention Coutinho away at Arsenal. Funny enough, on the first day of
Come here, reset
16,
against
17.
United.
Reese against United,
But
McAllister against
that's
Everton.
played to him. That's played to him and touched.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
You know,
All right.
McAllister against Everton.
Trent gets a good one away at
against
Hoffenheim.
United.
Aurelio's one, Aurelio's one. United in 08-09 was good.
Aurelio's one against Chelsea in the Champions League.
Fantastic,
yeah.
Fantastic,
yeah.
Emmet, look, the game the way it was very nip and tuck, I thought. You know, overall. It was two teams that know they're going to be near the top of the league at the end of the season. They didn't want to give too much away. I think Arsenal were boring as fuck. I think what Liverpool tried didn't kind of work. You know, if you go back and look at Liverpool shots, there's a lot of them from quick breaks and open play and, you know, different things like that. So Liverpool were probably trying to do more in open play with regards to winning the game rather than, look, can you kick it off someone there for a throw and we launch it in the box? But it's a great moment to win a game, isn't it? You know, like any moment's good, but when you do something like that, it's a little bit special.
Yeah, I think the biggest kind of compliment that could be given to it is I think Neville compares it to something that Ronaldo against Portsmouth, was it? He scored a similar one like that. I think when you look at it from the ref cam, you can see like the pace he hits it at, but it's always going away from the goalkeeper. And I don't think Raya's positioning was exactly wonderful. Do you
see? This is it, Emma. When you watch it from the angle, there's an angle they show from the very corner of the Kop in the main stand, and if you don't watch Szoboszlai, if you watch the Arsenal players along the box, they look like they're starting to position themselves for him to clip this towards Liverpool's left wing, sort of, for a header back across. I'm wondering, was part of that, is Raya thinking, I'll put that wall up and I'll watch what's going on here, but I think he's going to clip it.
Well, I think he only puts 3 in the wall. So that's a kind of, we need to be prepared to defend this, like you just said there, for a clip as well. Otherwise, you'd normally have 4 in it and maybe 2 over to the side. But I think he only puts 3 in it. Maybe he only put 3 in it to begin with. And then I think you had Gakpo and somebody else was kind of a metre away. But he was over it towards his left-hand post I think he was a little bit too far across. But even if he's in the middle of the goal, he's not stopping that. Like, it's an absolute screamer. My favourite part of it is, like, and my favourite part of some of the goals this season so far is looking at Chiesa celebrating them.
Yeah.
Chiesa.
I have that down. Is Chiesa's celebrations the best things of this season so far? Like the one against Newcastle, he just runs off and, like, you know,
Chiesa runs that way and Szoboszlai and all has gone that way. He's so happy. Like, it just, I could watch it over and over and over again. It's as good as the free kick there. Look, you'd be hard pushed to find a better free kick, especially into the Kop end, maybe, I would say, for Liverpool. But it's it gives them another one to put up on international duty, doesn't it? Instead of putting up the same. What was it against Germany? Was it? He scored it. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. But then Liverpool's main account then did put up what a free kick from Szoboszlai, and it was the one for Hungary, which was fucking fantastic work. Absolutely fantastic.
But look, come here, he has that in his locker. Like, he can strike a ball something lovely, like that ball across to Wirtz. And the touch by Wirtz, like, I think they compared it to a Trent Alexander ball across the thing. But Szoboszlai has that in his locker. He strikes a ball lovely. I think his corners are decent as well. But it's great to see him kind of get his flowers after the 2 performances that he's actually put in the last 2 games. So
yeah,
very good. Right, it's a good win for Liverpool. It's 3 from 3. We look like we're having some players finding their feet in this team. McAllister in particular coming back from injury. We should have Bradley. We should have Frimpong back after the international break. Fingers crossed, everything goes right during this international break. I couldn't tell you who's playing who in the internationals during this break. I really don't know. But hopefully they all go away. They get a few more games under the belt in some cases. Some of them get a rest in other cases. And they all come back and they're fresh and ready to go for our next league game. But look, as Keith said earlier, we were about... We're 19 hours, is it 19 or 20 hours away? I think it's 20 hours away from the closing of the transfer window. And The chat is getting very excited there over
They're
David
getting-
Ornstein tweet.
They're getting horny.
Yeah, they're getting horny, as they would call it. People are using the word bomber as well, which needs to
Bomber,
fucking stop.
yeah, I
Like,
hate that.
immediately. It needs to stop, right? I don't know who made this up, but please stop it, right? David Ornstein reports tonight that talks are ramping up tonight over a deal for Alexander Isak to join Liverpool from Newcastle United on deadline day. Liverpool saw a 110 million bid rejected earlier this summer, having previously indicated willingness to pay Newcastle 120 million. Now at a crunch point. Let's talk about him, and I think the only fucking discussion to have is does it happen or doesn't it happen? Keith, Alexander Isak, does it happen? Does it not happen? Where are you?
I think it happens, yeah. I think it happens. I think Davey is, I see after jumping into the chat, a resident Toon fan.
Yeah.
I think it happens.
Sorry,
I think
he also said that Isak had his haircut today in Newcastle. He said that's true. Photo shoot tomorrow, question mark.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I only get a haircut when I know there's a big photo shoot coming up as well. So,
yeah, so does Emma.
If that's the bomber that we've all been waiting for. Yeah, look, I think it's going to happen because I think Newcastle I think behind the scenes there's been nearly a willingness to do this all along, and I think there's been posturing maybe on the Newcastle side. I think their owners don't want to be seen as weak, but I think there's been a willingness to get this deal done for a while. They're spending a lot of money without getting a lot of money in, and to me it looks like, not getting stung, when we sold Suarez and ended up buying a load of stockings of shy. They want to get their business done. They don't want to be held for ransom with clubs knowing that they have a load of cash to burn on players. I think they've just been trying to get deals. They've been trying to get deals done all summer and it hasn't happened, right? They tried to get Ekatike, they tried to get Sesko, they tried to get João Pedro, they tried to get Wissa, they've tried to get the lap, they've tried to get everybody and it hasn't happened for them. This talk that they were going to be pairing them wasn't going to be likely. That was Isak plus Ekatike. It was never likely. They brought in Nick Voltemade, and look, 6'7" or something he is. They love him up there. They love a big striker in Newcastle. They always have.
I think he's a really good player.
He is a good player, but I don't think he's what people think he is. Do you know what I mean?
Not a 9, is he? He's like a 9.5.
He drops in. Yeah, he drops into the 10. So he's a different player. Think of.
Bro, I don't think that's a bad thing for Newcastle. I don't think that's bad for Newcastle because
if you have wingers coming in
Gordon
and playing,
Elanga,
feeding off
Gordon
them,
Elanga, the other lad Barnes, even Murphy, they all deal in pace. Yeah, and if your forward can score goals and drop in and create for the wide men, it's fucking savage. We've seen it.
Even the likes of Jacob Ramsey going in there. Is that his name, Jacob Ramsey? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
He's been a thorn in our side before for Villa. I remember we were at the
strong runner from midfield. He runs beyond the ball.
Yeah, he's an attacker.
A player that some of us probably wanted.
Yeah, true. At one stage, 100%. I think you're right there, Emmet. And I think, when you get those runners in around the Voltemade, I think they'd be very good. I think they'll probably get another striker. But you saw the tone changing a lot with Comical Alley there in the northeast, Luke Edwards, sort of slagging people a few months ago. If you think Newcastle will sell Isak, I don't know what to say. And today it's there's no willingness, even if they can't get another replacement in, that they'll probably do business. And the price is going from 150 to 130. I think Liverpool are going to get him for 120. 120 and add-ons, maybe the odd little add-on that might be achievable, but I think it might be 110 up front, 115, and then maybe 10 million adds on. 125 might get the deal done, and it'll be a great bit of business for Liverpool if he hits the ground running. There'll be a lot of pressure on like Wirtz, but if Liverpool can add Alexander Isak, and one thing that annoys me, Davey, cover your ears because I'm going to lash the Newcastle fans out a bit here, is this notion that Newcastle have made Alexander Isak. Alexander Isak's a very good player. He was a very good player from the minute he came in because he made his debut against us and fucking torched us and scored a cracker. So Alexander Isak has been a good player for a number of years. They've given him a platform in the Premier League to get him moved to Liverpool if it goes through, but they didn't make the player. it will be a sore one for them to lose. But I think the way Newcastle as a club and their media have handled the whole thing has been a bit, small time maybe, accusing Liverpool of disrespect. And Liverpool made a bid and then said, we won't bid again until Newcastle give us an indication of a willingness to sell. Liverpool have been fairly respectful in the whole thing. It's not like they're trying to get him cheap. They're offering the British transfer record. No matter what they offer, you're talking transfer records. So, I think it gets done. I think Liverpool will go and they'll get the player. Eddie Howe was telling all along he wants rid of him, or he's not exactly for the Newcastle case, I'd say, on it, because every time something comes out, there was an agreement I could go. There's no agreement. Eddie, was there an agreement? We had a chat at the end of the season. Like everything Eddie Howe was saying is sort of indicating a willingness as well to let him go. So, look, I think it happens. I think Newcastle are just trying to get their business done and get their house in order. And look, Newcastle, we were talking about Arsenal earlier as a team. We would have all liked, I certainly liked them. I consider them the third biggest team in England, Arsenal behind Manchester United, obviously behind us. But Newcastle are the team I've always liked as well. And they're a club and a city that have good ethos or whatever. And, whether you like their ownership or not, that's another thing. Owners come and go. I just hope that they do well without becoming one of these bogey thorn in their side merchants every time we play them. Do you know what I mean? That it's the other night they were too hyped. Do you know what I mean? They were too fucking on edge because it was Liverpool. And the next time we play them up there, it'll probably be the same if we have Isak playing for us, And I like Newcastle, I like their fans. It's a transfer that happens. We've been on the receiving end of it a few times. Take the money, make yourself better. What we done with Coutinho, and just go from there.
David T says, I sort of agree with you, Keith. A bit like Merseyside, Tyneside is very unique. A bit of a regional pride. Us against them, if you like. Absolutely. That has played a part in all this. My thing on this is that I'd be absolutely amazed if Alexander Isak isn't the Liverpool player tomorrow. Because the situation, and forget the football for a minute. Forget Liverpool levels ahead of Newcastle, bigger, whatever it might be. You can throw all that around, right? But the thing for me is that the situation for Alexander Isak and Newcastle is untenable, and it has been for quite a significant amount of time, right? It's definitely been untenable before Isak comes out 2 weeks ago with that quote after the PFA Awards or whatever awards it was, right? Premier League Awards, whatever it was. And you see Newcastle fans saying, if we don't sell him, we can integrate him back into the squad. He's no interest in being integrated back into the squad. None. And people will say, well, he has to play football. Yeah, he probably does. But that doesn't mean he integrates back into the squad. He probably just turns up and goes, yeah, I'll play if you want. But I couldn't give a fuck. And at the same time, Newcastle fans, quite rightly, by the way, are in the stands away at Leeds shouting that he's a cunt, right? And they've every right to shout he's a cunt. So how do the fans integrate themselves back into Alexander Isak when Isak doesn't want to integrate himself back into the team? It's untenable. And it has been untenable. And I said it from miles back. As soon as he left him out of that Celtic game, and as soon as he didn't put him on the plane to their tour in the Far East, it was it. It was over. It was over. And everyone knew it was over. And the player knew it was over because the player was there going, I'm not going on that tour because they're going to go and sign 2 players and I'm out of here. And it's just dragged on and dragged on and dragged on. And it's dragged on to the last day. And the only reason it's dragged on to the last day is because Newcastle don't want to be seen to be fucking holding a big wad of money. But they're going to be seen to be holding a big wad of money tomorrow when they're going to try and sign another player. But they know behind it all, this asset is no longer an asset. He's just not. Right? Because if they turn down 120 million tomorrow from Liverpool and that player says, right, I'll play for you for another year, they're not getting 50 million for him next summer. Yeah. They're not getting 50 million for him. Right? Because teams, if he doesn't sign with Liverpool, teams will turn around and go, well, I'm not giving you fucking 80 million for him. Sure, he might arrive here and decide that he doesn't want to fucking play with us in a year. You know what I mean? It's been untenable for a long time, and I think it's being dragged out. I actually think both clubs have known this for a while. And they said, look, leave it. Once we get it done the last day, you go and do your business. I expect Newcastle to sign Visit tomorrow. I think that Visa deal will go through. I think the fact that Visa has literally written a fucking memoir on why he doesn't want to be at Brentford means that he will go. But, you know, David T says the fans are fickle. You score a hat-trick against the Mackhams and he might settle back in. I get that.
correct.
I 100% get that. But the thing is, right, they've gone so far now. And I'm not saying they're wrong to go so far. That, you know, they've been saying, like, what about this, what about that? And now it's just, it's gone beyond that. And the reason it's gone beyond that is because so far back, Alexander Isak was not going to play for Newcastle anymore. And I think it becomes untenable because the agreement, for me, and I could be wrong, the agreement was in place when he didn't play against Celtic and he didn't go on that tour and he expected this to be sorted in 10 days and it never got sorted. And then it turned nasty. Do you know what I mean?
But if you remember it then, Gav, as well, that was around the time you were trying to get Ekitike. So he was told under the impression probably, look, we'll get this through the door. We'll do that. We have plan Bs, and it just wasn't happening for them. And it went on and on until he eventually had to come out and say, look, I'm getting lashed over here. This is my side. Promises were made. Promises were broken. And promises aren't worth a shite if they're not down on, down on paper. But
and look,
I think it's been done as well.
But it's Eddie Howe has been caught out telling lies. And I know all managers lie.
Yeah, but look at Visa.
He told lies about the Celtic thing. He told
look at
lies
Visa.
about...
Well, he did. In fairness to him, when he didn't put him in the Celtic team against Celtic, he said why. He said, well, he did say it's the noise around his future. He did say that, but then he doesn't put him on the plane for the tour. That would have been an easy one. Put him on there, bring him on wherever he went and played, and he'd be out of the spotlight. Because even though he's in pre-season, he's in a big club, they're playing big games, he's out of the spotlight. He's not in the UK. You know what I mean? So he could have got away with that a little bit. But from there on in, it was over. And it always has been over.
But the official club announcement that he didn't speak with any official or no promises were made from any official. Now, I would imagine that it was any current Newcastle official because...
But Eddie Howe says he has...
Eddie Howe more or less said it was.
He didn't talk to him, and then he said the day after, oh, well, we did have a conversation. So
yeah. And then you have to remember, we'd integrate him back into the squad. What happens if the squad don't want him? Then players are elbowing the rights to go, hold on, you didn't fucking go into pre-season with us. You refused to play. We had to go out and play games with no forward. And you want to come back
win a game in pre-season.
And it's for me, it'll happen tomorrow. Emma, will it happen tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I agree with Keith as well. It'll be like, and I know it's partially his fault, but you're buying a player now that probably hasn't, he's done a bit of training, but he's not had a proper pre-season. He's not kicked the ball in a match in God knows how long. You're probably not going to get to use him probably until the end of September with international break. He'll go away now and probably play for Sweden, which will be good for him. But you're getting a player that you can't use immediately. We offered the 110, then we shut our mouth. And there's Newcastle fans out there going, if you really wanted him, you would have bid it again. But we said until we get encouragement, that's it. We're not going to bid again. So I reckon it'll be 120 with 10, 15 add-ons, achievable add-ons. It's not going to be any, I don't think it'll be 130, 140, 150. It'll be 120 with add-ons. And I think Marc Gu signs tomorrow as well.
Well, that was the next question. So is Marc Gu coming to Liverpool tomorrow? Come on, Emma.
Yeah,
because your man Glasner's not having a part of it.
Fuck him. If you watch after the game this evening, Palace, Henderson and him are talking, and Henderson kind of tries to push him forward. They know. I'd say he's probably spoken to the players. He was and Gu he was kind of reluctant to do it, but it was like Henderson was like pushing him forward to say, like, do you know what I mean? Say your goodbyes or take your plaudits or whatever. But I think that gets done as well. What a goal he scored tonight as well.
Didn't say it.
Cracker. It was a view.
Was it a heady?
No, it was a corner into the top corner from the edge of the box.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Laughing at Dominik Szoboszlai, walking around laughing at the fella.
But no, I think Gu, like, not criticising Isak, not criticising Visa, but Gu probably has gone about it the right way. Been very respectful. He's got his club into the group stages of the Conference League. He's got them. They're 3 points. That he's done absolutely everything he possibly can. I think he deserves a move away as well. And there's not a fucking hope in hell Steve Parish lets him walk away for
Well,
free
that's it.
next summer. Like
Glasner can say what he
35
wants.
million is huge for a club like
I think
for Palace.
People are reading that as Glasner saying we cannot sell him unless we have a replacement. It's probably Glasner going, look, he is gone, but can we get a replacement, please?
Yeah.
And I know they've been.
But also, he can then say to the fans, well, look, I tried to hold on to him as much as I could.
Yeah.
But look.
But like, it's, to me, Glasner's probably, I know they were linked with a centre half the other day. Like, it was done.
Whatever happened to your man, DM Monday?
No, that from Sporting never happened.
Yeah.
But they were linked with a guy. It was literally like final papers we signed to lose. Yeah. I don't know if that's being done, but maybe that's
Gomez on loan.
Yeah,
but said absolutely no chance.
But maybe that is what's going to happen. I think where he signed as well. I think I've been fairly confident way he as well. I think the way we're going to move in the centre half, or the way we have moved in the centre half market, I think way is absolutely.
I think that could be another sneaky one as well.
Well, I'll get to the sneaky ones at the end. Right, leave the sneaky ones at the end.
Leave the sneaky ones out.
Keith, going to turn it around a little bit here. You can have your say on Guehi if he's going to come in or not. And the next,
I think he'll come in.
Okay, you're done on that. That's it. That's all you've got to say on the issue. Fair enough, right? Dylan O'Rourke says, is that Gomez's last game in red? Reports in Italy that Milan are confident of getting the deal sorted.
Yeah, look, I'd say there is a bit of legs in Gomez maybe moving on because we brought in
Di Marzio, is it Di Marzio? Am I saying
Di Marzio, yeah.
Di Marzio report in Milan, very confident of 15 million euros transfer.
I'd rather sell him to Palace, to be honest, because them Italians will blade and try and wrangle it out of money somehow. They're not shower to blade themselves.
Yeah. 2 pallets of Prosecco.
Yeah, I think out of every player in the squad, and we say this all the time, that these players, that was nothing from what they've given us. He probably owes us the least, you know what I mean? He's our longest serving player. He's hung around. He's won a lot with us. He's always, I felt, been obviously unlucky with injuries, but he's deserved a better career. You know, when he's come back from injuries, he's been unfortunate that we've had other players that have been in, whether it be Joe Matip, whether it be Ibrahim Konate, you know, he's been unlucky. And I just love to see him going and playing regular and playing 35 games a year for whatever team it is in this league. If it doesn't happen, I won't be too upset because I love Joe Gomez. I think he's great. But if we've got 4 bodies in there, where he gets over the line, makes sense to move him on. And not from a financial point of view, because the money, if AC Milan are offering that, is pittance. Just from a numbers point of view. You know, we see Guardiola giving out about having too many players and crying to players when he's having a few more. Yeah. Like, the reality is, you don't want to have, 5 centre-backs if we don't need 5. You know, you can always say, oh, well, what happens if, we've seen that before, we've seen that movie, it's not being good, but I think we're confident that, if we go with this for Joe Gomez could probably move on and have a nice little career for himself. And look, Costa Simicas left today, went to Roma on loan. Good luck to him. I've never been as big a critic of him as others. He's never been a great player, but as a backup player, I think he's been a fine servant over the years he's been here. Joe Gomez, the same. He's a backup option, really, at best. He can cover a lot of positions, but we've got bodies now that can cover those positions. So, look, if it means he gets to play, happy days. Good luck to the fella. I would have no ill will towards Joe Gomez if he decides to seek something new. Similar with some others in the squad as well. Harvey Elliott being.
I was going. Will you see? Stop now.
Sorry.
My thing on Gomez is that a lot of people in the chat there are going, no, I'd love to keep Joe Gomez as a 5th option, a centre back. He can do a bit of left back. He can do a bit of right back. People are going, he can do DM. He can't. Stop, please. Just stop. But the thing is, you probably have to look into what Joe Gomez wants in all this. And Liverpool do this every so often, where they do say to you, look, for a nominal fee, you can go, and you've served us well. We will take a nominal fee if you want to go and play football. I think Joe Gomez probably does leave the football club, because at the start of the summer we had Van Dijk beat Kanate, we had Gomez and we Kwanzaa, and we're like, where are we upgrading there? Arne Slot probably feels he's upgrading on Kwanzaa with Leone, okay, and I think you're upgrading on Gomez with Guehi. Now you can argue their, their defensive abilities, etc., height, whatever the fuck you want to go into, but at the end of the day, Marc Guehi's fit, and he's always fucking fit. Right, bar a big injury he had probably a year ago. He's reliable with regards to fitness. Joe Gomez isn't. Right, now, if Joe Gomez wants to stay there and get his fitness back and play some games for Liverpool, fine. But this is probably more Joe Gomez than the club. And the club have went, okay, fine, if you want to go, we're going to put, because Joe Gomez was linked with £25 million moves away. At the start of the summer, Everton were one of them, Villa, there was Palace, were all being linked. So if he's gone for €15 million, it's probably the club saying, look, we will keep you, but if you want to go and play football and you want to try something new, we're not going to stand in your way. I'm okay either way, to be fair.
Similar with Kelleher as well. He didn't get
exactly. Kelleher's another one. And even Sadio Mane. Yeah. Sadio Mane, when he goes for a fee that you're kind of going, that's a bit fucking low. But but these are players that at times they'll just go, listen, bang, and we let it go. So it's probably a Joe Gomez decision. People are saying it's a mistake, we should keep him. My argument on that is, if for any reason we go into a thing and we go, right, let's just say, right, that you lose Kanate and you lose Van Dijk, just for argument's sake. Put yourself in a scenario where you have to say to yourself, Joe Gomez needs to be fit for the next 15 games. We need him for the next 15 games for Liverpool Football Club. I can guarantee it to a man and woman, and child, shouldn't be children in the chat, but man and woman, that you will be going, fuck, there's no way he's going to stay fit for 15 games. And that's the truth of it. But if we think that Joe Gomez can be around the squad and fill in here or there, even at that, like we tried filling in at right back with Endo in the first game of the season, and it was an unmitigated fucking disaster. Do you know what I mean? Szoboszlai has the legs for it. He has the engine for it. But I'd rather go away from this kind of, he can fill in there. I don't want that. I want people to fucking excel in their positions. You know, that sort of way. So I think he might go. Emmet, Trevor says earlier, and good to see you, Trevor. He says, no Harvey Elliott on the bench today. He's out the door. He says it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. He was.
Oh, he probably meant, was he on the? He was on the bench, wasn't he?
He was on the bench,
but he didn't make an appearance. Sorry, do you feel that he would be
maybe off the bench? No, Harvey Elliott off the bench.
Yeah, probably missed.
I think look, with Xavi Simons going to Spurs, there was a talk that there was a deal agreed already for Harvey Elliott, and it was on the understanding that if Simons went to Spurs, so I would imagine that probably gets done tomorrow. I'd love to hold on to Harvey Elliott, but like he's probably 6 years younger than Gomez. He has more of a chance anyway of going off and making a career for himself. And I'd love to see him do really well. I'd love to hold on to him, but I just don't think he's going to get enough game time with us for what he deserves. And I think he probably will get that at Leipzig. And I think there's probably, isn't there a sell-on? There was talk that there was a sell-on fee involved in it, or possibly a buyback fee for Liverpool as well. He'll always be sought after by the likes of, say, a Newcastle or a Brighton or a Bournemouth or something like that, because he is homegrown and class is club grown as well. And if teams are looking to bolster their homegrown players, Leipzig can get a decent deal for him to come back. But I really like Harvey Elliott. I'd love to see him go off and do really, really well. But I think he moves on. But I think we could try and replace him as well, though.
Okay. Well, you're dying to fucking go on about the sneaky ones.
No, I couldn't give you a name, but I think we will.
You don't even have a name.
I do have two.
All right. Well, I don't even have a name. You have no name, you have two.
Yeah.
You be shy under interrogation. Keith, you won't want that going to hold a secret for you. Keith, Harvey Elliott. I'm not selling him unless I bring someone in. I'm going to put that out there.
I don't think the manager trusts him. I don't think there's a place for him. I don't think there's a position for him. And for that reason, I would let him go. I think we'd use other players quicker than we would use Harvey Elliott. Real talk there. Elliott should stay in case Wirtz doesn't. If Wirtz doesn't work out, it won't be Harvey Elliott that's coming in to replace him.
No.
Other players in the squad that will. And look, I love Harvey Elliott. I think he's great. He's the sort of Liverpool fan that's playing for the team, not the Scouser in the team, not Curtis Jones or the other lad that left. He is a fan who looks to be living the dream, playing for Liverpool. He enjoys it. He doesn't rear up when he's not playing, even though he obviously isn't happy about it. But I just don't think there's a place for him. And I think keeping him is detrimental to him. And I don't think Slot, as I say, trusts him enough to do that. I think Slot would be happy enough to say, we've other players there that can do it. Because where does he play? You know, he's not fast enough to be on the wing, and he's not maybe seen as physical enough to play in the midfield. I've always thought he done well, to be honest, when he came in. I always thought he was a great impact sub when he came on. I would probably err on the side of keeping him as well, but if you're not going to play him, I don't see the point. And that's where I sort of land on it. If he's not going to get the minutes. And look, Slot we've seen Chiesa getting a lot of minutes and Endo over the last season forcing his way in to get minutes. But they look to have more of a defined role. And that's where, look, if you're Mo Salah's understudy, you're not going to get many minutes on the bleeding right. And I just don't think he gets it. So Kev says he's a 10, and when he's played the 8 before the Leeds injury, he was flying it, but it was a different system than what we do now. And that's where I just don't think he has his place in an Arne Slot team. In a Jurgen Klopp team, I felt, as an 8 in a 3-man midfield, I thought he had a position. And it's funny, playing a 10 now, I think we do other players in that position quick before we would do him. So, yeah, look, if it does happen, if he moves on, I wish him all the best. And love to see him going abroad and smashing it in Leipzig, because I think he's a really, really talented player, and a slower, maybe paced league, I think he could do real damage in it.
I think I'm actually of the opinion if he does leave, I think you build your team around him and you let him be the free fella that roams and does his bits. Because I think he has endless amounts of talent, to be fair to him, and he's still only really, really young.
Could he be Leverkusen's replacement for Wirtz?
I don't know.
They're talking about sacking Ten Hag.
Sure, he's out the big gap already, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? But I just think I look at them when I look at the numbers in midfield and even going forward. I wouldn't mind, like Emmet's talking about sneaky signings. I wouldn't mind a sneaky fucking attacker or some sort coming in, and I don't know if we can do it financially. I don't know, but I think Harvey Elliott. It's this close now with nothing really solid there. You're probably looking at a loan or an obligation from somebody, somewhere along that lines. But I think he might leave, but I'd be sorry to see him go. I think in midfield, I think we've good numbers in midfield. I just feel that little space between midfield and attack, if you need a player just to be, a Joe Gomez might be to the defence, or, I kind of feel Elliott's there, but Elliott's probably at the stage where he's like, lads, I'm 22. I've won 2 under-21 championships. Has he won one league with Liverpool? I don't think he was in the squad 4 or 5 years ago. Could be wrong. And you kind of look at it and go, he wants to further himself. And to further himself right now, looking at what he's had and what game time he's had, he probably has to move on. Liverpool might look at a buyback, he might look at a sell on, whatever it might be. But I think he probably does go, but I wouldn't mind another one coming in. Anyway, sneaky ones, possible ones. We have to let Emmet go first because he has 2. Go on.
Morgan Rogers
Mhm.
or Semenyo.
Semenyo's not leaving Bournemouth.
Yeah, I'd be surprised at this late
Sure, they
stage.
fucking sold a load of players.
I'd say it's more likely to be Rogers because there's rumours around players to Villa. I think Paqueta was linked with them 47 million, but I mean after his
Well, yeah,
celebration today,
that's literally on here as we're
oh, is it,
speaking.
yeah, this whole
Yeah,
that thing.
don't mind
Um,
kissing the bag.
but I think there's talk of possibly Sancho as well to Villa. So
Who? Jadon Sancho?
yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck off.
yeah.
Oh, for the love of
Desperate, you'll
Jesus.
see. Desperate shows
Both kind of similar players to Rogers, maybe. So I don't know.
Asensio's going to Turkey.
Villa probably up shit creek when it comes to PSR as well. So yeah, I just think there's another kind of little. I think there might be another little surprise.
Okay. You see, my thing with Morgan Rogers is I think he's good. I think he's really good. But when I look at where Liverpool are, if you're settling on Chiesa being the backup to Salah, and what I mean by that is he gets some minutes off that side or gets in the team at times. Okay, fair enough, because you have to have like a ranking system in those forwards. If you sign Isak and Ekatike, you're like, great. Engamoa gets a fucking goal tonight. It was unbelievable. But you've Gakpo there. Morgan Rogers can play down that left-hand side. But he can also play in that 10. He can also sit in midfield. He's like literally Villa's version of Dominik Szoboszlai a little bit in a slightly different way. He is a utility player for me where you can see him popping up in different areas. The rumour is Villa have to get rid of players because of their PSR. And people are going, well, they've made 10 million profit in the last 3 years. And you're like, yeah, but how much of their income is being spent on fucking wages? That's how PSR
the wages.
I think they've the worst in the league by a mile. I think.
They're really bad.
The Semenyo shout is more so because I think we need to start putting a plan in place for, and this has got nothing to do with Salah's performances so far this season, but I think we need to start forward planning for Salah no longer being a Liverpool player. And we need somebody. I know Semenyo's he's been playing a little bit kind of tennis as well, but he can play off the right. There's other people saying Michael Elise. I think that was poo-pooed the other day, but I just think that we need to start forward planning in that position. I think we're okay in other positions. I mean, if you got Isak and if you get Isak in tomorrow, and if Ekatike, you've got the two of them will fight it out, and will possibly pop up in other positions as well. It's just that I don't think we've got somebody in place that will be an out right winger, and I don't want it to be Frimpong either. Like, do you know what I mean? So I just think we need to start maybe planning for that. If not now, maybe January. Maybe like a Diaz came in before Mane went. You know what I mean? So I think we need something there.
Yeah.
I think next summer they'll go heavy on Elise.
Just on the Villa stuff. Passio does say there Villa will probably sell Martinez to United. I think that's a real possibility.
They're not going to get a whole pile for him though.
He's only a year left, doesn't he, on his deal?
Yeah, but it's the wages. He's probably on big wages there. He's probably one of the top earners at Villa. I think Villa are in trouble. I really do. I think I'm not saying to be relegated, but I think they're going to have a bit of a fall from grace to what was it 6th last season. I just feel it feels like a boat was rocking there, and I don't know how long Unai Emery will put up with. But Semenyo not a hope. I don't
Emery
think
to United then.
Yeah, you never know. Keith, anyone else outside of them before we go?
No, I don't think we'll bring in another attacker, to be honest. I think it's just going to be, and I do think it will be Isak and Guehi, and I think I think the right winger will be next summer. And I just think there's enough players that'll plug the gaps with what's in there. And I know everyone hates plugging the gaps, but I do think it'll be Frimpong playing from the right, or I think it'll be Szoboszlai playing from the right when Salah's not there. Chiesa won't start games, but I think he will, if he's kept, will be more involved than he was last season. And I don't see him being sold because we've just bought a young Italian fella who needs an Italian mate, and I think that'll be part of the makeup of the squad. So Yeah, look, I think it'll be just the two lads. I'll be happy with just the two lads.
Yeah.
More than happy. I think it'll be the best fucking transfer window we've ever had.
Mm.
It'll be outrageous. But other teams are doing a lot. You look at Arsenal; they've signed about 10 players as well. Like, so you have to do that. It's not. We don't do it every year, but you just can't sit still. And I think you have to make these signings as and when you can. And Liverpool are in a position to do it now. And I think they will. And I think it'll be Guehi and Isak. And I think Elise will be a big name that they'll go for next summer.
So what are
and
we,
the centre back.
So what are we thinking here? Are we thinking Isak, Guehi in, Elliott, Gomez out? You about right?
Yeah. I don't think Liverpool will force either of them out. I think it'll be down to the players. Like, I don't think it's a money thing that they need. Like, 15 million euro isn't really going to do much. But, I think it'll be down to the players if they leave.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have one of them. Remember Caicedo nights last year 2 years ago when the Caicedo news broke? I think we were on a Sunday night show actually, and you jumped back on afterwards, and I went through the night. Now I know that one didn't bleed and get over the line, but I think you're going to hear news in the next hour that Liverpool have agreed a deal with Alexander Isak, and they'll do the Guehi one and get that all tied up. I think that'll be.
I think that the beauty of them too is if you're led to, if you believe what's written is that it is just a case of the two clubs, Palace and Newcastle, agreeing, because personal details aren't going to be.
It's not going to drag on.
They're supposedly already agreed upon.
Yeah, so I think you can expect news early in the morning that both players have turned up at the Axe or whatever the fuck is going on. In terms of us...
well, Isak was apparently staying in a hotel just outside Ormskirk yesterday.
Fuck off. Who's telling you that now? You believe anything.
Indy Coyle.
Would you fuck off and annoy me?
Come here, and come here. There's more and more journals are atting him. They're talking about
Indy's had a great summer, hasn't he?
Well, I think what's happening there is no. They're saying that it's genuine.
Yeah.
But what I think is
and he tagged themselves on
Indy Coyle built his page on these wild fucking claims.
Yeah.
That I think that they do have reliable information, but every now and again they throw in one of these mad kind of tweets just to kind of.
And every one of them are sitting there with their blue ticks. Every one of them is sitting there with their blue ticks, and what they're doing is they're all fucking walking you all by saying we'll say this, and if I tag him, he'll tag me, and we'll all make a nice fucking few quid out of it. There you go. So Craig Hope was reporting that everything, all suggestions is that agreement will be reached between Liverpool and Newcastle for Isak. Watch out for tomorrow. In terms of ourselves, we're going to try to do something at 6 p.m. tomorrow, depending on people's availability, for the last hour of the window. We will be on tomorrow night for a reaction to the transfer window. And over on our Patreon, we're looking to do a reaction extra from the game today where we watch some of the highlights and we discuss them. So if you haven't been on our Patreon, listen, pay up for a month, have a look at it. If you don't like it, get rid of it. If you do like it, continue supporting us over on Patreon. A lot of people have signed up consistently over the last while and I've loved it, and the feedback has been brilliant. So if you want to do that, by all means do it. Thanks a million for yawning right through the middle of that while I say Patreon is really good. Second of all, NordVPN are sponsoring this show, so if you're looking for a VPN where you can stream all your favourite shows, your sports that you can't get in the country that you're living in, walk away with NordVPN. You can set yourself in any country in the world and fill your boots on all the sport, TVs, movie, whatever you want with regards to that. Security wise, it's good when you're travelling. I use it when I'm travelling for work because it's a secure line that you have for your internet. And don't worry, if you're travelling to bleeding Tenerife with the kids, or 11 Reef, as Shawnee would say to you, if you're going to 11 Reef with the kids and they all have the tablets and you're worried about them all bleeding, the tablets falling apart because they're getting hacked by local internet, it covers up to 10 devices. So the link for NordVPN is in the description as well. Let me see, another one's coming in. The Master of Music. Haven't seen him before. Huge breaking news. Marc Gu has officially informed Crystal Palace about his decision to join Liverpool with immediate effect. The source is Krish FT.
Cool.
So there you go.
Top tier.
That's a new one on me. That's been it. Anything else before we go, Emma?
No, all good.
Oh, good. Great stuff. Keith, anything else before we go?
No, all good. Good show, good day, good result. Will there be more good news through the night? There will, but
Watch out for it.
we'll be back tomorrow. Watch out.
I did want to speak to you about the fact that I'm gone mad into orange juice, but I think we'll do that another time.
Ooh.
Oh, well, hold on.
With or without
With
bits?
bits. Yeah.
Oh, no bits.
No bits, right.
I like bits.
I'm gone mad into orange juice.
The fresh one or the...
So I go down into. I can't believe I'm getting into this. Maybe we'll do it another night. But I go down to Dunn's, right, at the supermarket.
They have the machines.
And they have the
that you
machines
put
with all the oranges in them, and it turns them and squishes them, and all the juice comes. Fucking fantastic. Maybe I do eat them with bits then, because you're not getting no bits getting into that.
Yeah, definitely getting bits.
Yeah, well then that stuff, the bits. I'm gone mad into it. But I'm going around like this is a newfangled thing. Orange juice.
Yeah, orange juice. All the kids
people are drinking it ages. Do you know what I mean? I'm carrying on like, lads, well, I tell you about this stuff called orange juice. That's wrong. Before we
Sitting
go,
there spilling 2 litres of orange juice.
you're shooting rings around yourself. After that.
I'll ask an opinion on something.
One.
People going around the supermarket eating stuff out of their shopping before they get to the till.
What sort of
For
stuff?
kids, you don't mind. Here's a fucking rice cake. Shut your face while we do the shopping or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Have a Mars bar, you little box.
Actual people going around and they've opened up like a 6-pack of crisps, and they're eating a bag of crisps as they're going around.
No, I would never do that unless it was for the kids. I've no problem with people getting themselves a couple of sausage rolls or a couple of goujons and eating them and just giving them the wrapper at the end. Going, listen, I was having them, I was starving.
Yeah, but
because they're hot food.
Oh yeah, we've done it many a time.
Oh yeah,
like that. The kids would be getting a sausage roll, and you're like, throw a few.
Well, yeah, no, like I would.
Or somebody getting like a bottle of orange juice, like you say, drink it on your way.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not opening packets of ham for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
Taking 2 slices out and putting the wrap.
Like whipping a fucking plastic fucking knife out of my pockets there, buttering slices of bread and all. I'm not doing that. But I think Red Steve says just sucking on raw oven chips. No, I'm not doing that. But like if you're buying stuff at the deli, like for sausage rolls or a few goujons or wedges or something, you're hardly gonna fucking
wait to get out to the car. No,
because they're probably gone cold unless you're tactical about it and you have a little. And I've done this. We have a little gander at the deli and you go, oh, they've plenty of sausage rolls left. I'll do me shopping and then I'll buy them right at the end. Lash through the checkout, out into the car home, and then they'll still be hot. But if there's only a few left, you need to fucking jump in there, especially if it's around 3 o'clock in the day, because Dunn's don't give a fuck after 4 o'clock. They're not making any more sausage rolls, so it's a tactical thing as well. There you go.
Very true. True.
Anyway, song of the week, somebody asked. I think it might have been Dylan. Keith, any songs of the week? What are you listening to this week?
Song of the week. Jesus, what have we been listening to this week?
I'm going to put my hand up. Chappelle, what's her name? Chappelle Rowan.
Chapel Rowan.
Oh, yeah.
Big
fucking
fan. And she's a Liverpool fan as well.
Fantastic year.
Yeah, that's a great show, actually. Our new song is great. Girl on the Subway. Great song.
Right. Pink Pony Club.
I was strung out on Pink Pony Club for ages.
It's so fucking good.
That was hot to go as well. Yeah, she's playing quality.
She is. She's deadly.
She'll be doing the Super Bowl next year.
Won't have a word said against her.
Won't have a bad word said.
Chapel Rowan instead of Chappelle. Because that's how I'm down with the kids. It
could be Chappelle.
It could be, but I think you're right when you say Chapel Rowan. But that's song of the week there. So that. Any sausage of the week recommendations?
That bleeding shy bag that was on the VAR yesterday. See the full Chelsea game.
I haven't seen a bit of that, and to be honest, we're doing a show on Tuesday night on our Patreon, which is called Good Process, where we look at 5 of the top moments from the weekend with regards.
He got pulled off. He was meant to be VAR.
I did see he got taken off, but I haven't seen anything.
That Good Process show was going to be about 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, we might need to settle in. Well, you see, Ashley is the head of referee abuse and disdain. That's what we've made her the executive of. So she picks the fight.
Week for Ashley, so
she picks big week for.
What's the story with Carl? Can we not get Carl on?
Carlo?
Yeah.
No, don't want Carlo. Carlo, come on, his best Liverpool jacket. No,
but he can tell you the actual laws.
He couldn't. Don't mind Carlo for fuck's sake. Are you joking me? Do you know what I mean? I said,
he looks like Darren McGallagher. He looks like Left Watch.
I had a point with Carl last night, right? And I said to him, how are things? He said, I went up to ref a match yesterday. I won't say where it was. And he goes, and it was fucking melogen. He said, I can't believe I had to put up with it. He said, and I said, was it that bad? And he goes, yeah, fuck the football. He said, there was a crash on the way. A girl spun a leading Volkswagen Golf and all. I was like, okay, grand. And that's Carlo's input on football. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. I mean, referee, he's a ref. No.
Yeah.
But Ashley will be picking the 5. She picks the 5 bits. So if the 5 come up and you don't like the 5, if there was a 6, 7 and 8 and you go, that should definitely be in, talk to Ashley. But if you show any sort of abusive behaviour towards her, everyone will just fucking come down you like a ton of bricks. So there you go. So the VAR fella is sausage.
There was some fucking creep in the comments the other night.
Yes, there was.
Ashley.
We won't be discussing that. Okay. Right, that has been it. Thanks a million to Keith. Thanks a million to Emma. I've been Gav. That's been the Sunday Night Show. Like, subscribe, comment, all that mess. NordVPN in the link. Patreon is in the link. And we'll talk to you very soon. Over and out.